Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. This is Calabria Dreaming. My name is Lily and I'm a Californian who has moved to Calabria, and basically my whole channel is just devoted to getting people to come out here to visit and to eventually move here because it's amazing. That being said, I wanted to make a video today about some of the things that might be difficult when you first move to Calabria. I don't want to sugarcoat it and say that it's the easiest place to move to. There are a few things that you need to consider before coming out here, so I just wanted to go over a few things that I found that were a little difficult when I first moved here, and hopes that might help you make a decision on whether Calabria is the right place for you. So the number one thing that is definitely the hardest to get over is the language. There are no people here that speak English. And when I say no people, no children, no teenagers, no hipster 20-year-olds. People here just do not speak English. And the reason for that is because Italian government has forever dubbed all movies and TV shows. So instead of having normal subtitles like the rest of the world does, they dub it so people speak over in Italian. And so the problem with that is that nobody hears the language. They never hear English. And so they just don't have the language that the rest of the world does. So there are some people obviously that speak broken English, but generally speaking, you are not going to find anybody who speaks English. So you definitely need to speak Italian if you're thinking about moving out here. Italian is such a beautiful language. I'm so happy I speak it. It definitely took me a little while to get it. So you know, if you're good with language, then that's amazing. If you're not, you might want to start practicing your Italian now. You don't need that much Italian to get around. I mean, you basically need to go grocery shopping and and that kind of thing. However, Calabrians really, like every other place, really do like it when you try to speak their language. So I definitely find that the language can be a barrier to somebody, especially if you do not speak any Italian. So that's like the number one thing, is the language. The second thing that might be a little difficult in the beginning is the people here in Calabria, specifically in Calabria. I'm not talking for all of Italy, just speaking about Calabria, is that they are a little closed-minded. Now, what I mean by that is that they're in this little bubble and they don't really leave, and they're very kind of, I don't want to say rude, but they're a little standoffish in the beginning. That being said, once you assimilate to their culture here and you speak a little Italian, Calabrians are the nicest people. They bring you in like family, but in the beginning it can be a little difficult to get accepted into the culture here. And then, so, that could be it was definitely difficult for me in the beginning. Obviously I didn't speak any Italian, so that didn't help. But they're just a little bit cold in the beginning, and I would definitely say a little closed-minded. They're very traditional here. They're very religious, and they believe that Italy is the center of the world, and they're very proud Italians down here. So I don't want to scare you and say that they're the worst people ever. They're not. They're just closed off a little bit in the beginning, and once you learn the language and you've lived here for a little while, then they become like family, and they're the best people in the world. But and I'm sorry to all my Calabrian friends, you know what I'm talking about though. Calabria is not like the warmest place. It's not Thailand, the land of smiles. It's not California where people say good morning to you on the street. They can come off as a little bit cold in the beginning, but that goes by, that passes after a while. And once, like I said, once you are part of the community, they would do anything for you. My neighbors here are the best. They help us with everything. They're so sweet. So in the beginning, when you first move here, you might find people a little bit standoffish, a little bit closed-minded, and that's just the charm of Calabria. Another thing that I found that was really difficult when I first moved here was, and this might sound very petty, but it's not, trust me, it was difficult for me. There is no other food here. There is only Italian food. It's the best Italian food. It's amazing. It's one of the reasons why I ended up moving here, but you won't find Mexican food here, guys. Okay. I know for me, half Mexican, that was so difficult. I was like, where's the Mexican food? I need a burrito. There's no Thai food. There's no Greek food. There is no Chinese food. So that being said, you can grow your own cilantro and make your own guacamole. It is possible. So you can, you do have the best produce here, but you're not going to find a lot of other food here. But with that goes along the fact that you live in the best part of Italy in terms of food. And so the food here is great, but you do get to a point after about a year or so where you're just done with the pizza, you're done with the pasta, and you're dying for some, lo mein or chow mein, or you're dying for a pupusa or something like that. And coming from LA, where I had all the food available at my fingertips with Uber Eats, that is not the case here. It's only Italian food. Maybe once in a while you'll find a random Chinese place, but it's not the same. So that for me was really hard, especially I was pregnant here. So I was like jonesing for guacamole or for something, and I just couldn't get it. So you can grow your own food, so you can make it, and it's easy to cook here because you have all these amazing vegetables and stuff like that. But that was for me kind of a difficult thing to overcome, was the food part of it. Like I just really, really missed Mexican food, and you're not gonna find it here. The next thing that I found hard to assimilate to in the beginning was the things close here. So it's a plus and a minus. I mean, at the same time, I moved here because I wanted less consumerism in my life. I don't want to be, at Target every weekend and shopping. And here things close. So in the middle of the day, from about 12 until 4, it is very common for grocery stores and pharmacies and all stores to just close down. It's like a siesta, but it's all year round, even in the cold months. And so if you want to go buy a gallon of milk at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, chances are you're not going to find anything open. So for coming from LA, where everything is available 24 hours a day, that was a little bit of a hard pill for me to swallow. I remember getting very, very angry at the fact that I couldn't go and buy something in the middle of the day. So that being said, I mean, that slows things down and that gives you the opportunity to go home and relax. But in the beginning, it can be something that people get a little bit frustrated with. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, which is so ridiculous, but it is true, is that Italians, even though they live in the Mediterranean climate and the weather here is amazing, it's February right now, it's in the low 70s, they tend to think it's cold. So there is a seasonality to everything here. In the summer starts in June and it ends in September, and that's it. And in September, they put on their winter coats and it's winter time for them. Me personally, I mean, I'm still in the ocean. I still go swimming in the sea. Even now in February, January, December, we went swimming this whole winter, and I will continue to do that. But the Italians do not do that. They love their seasons. They want to have a summer season and they want to have a winter season. And they're very afraid of weather here. It's a little rainy here and they freak out and they don't want to go outside anymore. So in the winter months, Italians generally stay cooped up at home. It's only us crazy, Americans and Russians and Swedish people that are nuts enough to go out and jump in the water or go hiking, even though it's raining outside. So it's not a big deal. It doesn't bother me, but it definitely is a little strange that nobody else is doing it with me. I'm the only freak on the beach in my bikini in November, and that's fine with me, but everything does shut down in terms of beach bars and restaurants and stuff like that. It all shuts down basically in September. And it's kind of typical for Europe and France. It's the same, like everybody goes on vacation in August, and then September everybody goes back to school and back to work. So the weather here is beautiful. There's only 2% of the world that enjoys the climate that we do, this Mediterranean climate. So I love it, but Italians do not like even the slightest amount of cold weather. They just don't like it. For me, it's not a problem, but you won't find a lot of people that will think the same way as you do, unless of course you find a bunch of crazy expats that are living here. So those are the 5 things that I found are difficult when I first moved to Calabria. The language obviously is a huge barrier. The food, a little bit closed-mindedness in the beginning. The weather is a little bit, they freak out for weather. And then the last thing that you definitely need to consider, and this is like really, really important, is that it's very hard to find work out here. So if you have an online business or you work from your computer, awesome. If you are retired and you're chilling, then even better. I do teach yoga here, and I also teach English at my kids' school because I really want Calabrians to start speaking more English. So you can create your own workout here, but it's not like the United States where it's easy to find work. It's just not. There's not a lot of business out here. It is growing, and Calabria is growing, and it's changing. So I hope that changes in the next few years. But just to kind of warn you that you're not going to move to Calabria and immediately find work. You're going to have to carve that out for yourself, or already have something online, or either you're just independently wealthy. You can also, another great idea is to buy property here because it's so affordable, and then rent them out. Especially in the summer season, you can get upwards of $2,000 to $3,000 per month for an apartment. So that's something that I'm considering doing, is buying some property and then renting it out. So that's definitely something you can do. You can obviously open your own business out here. You definitely want to get to know the people here before you do that, because like I said in the beginning, they're a little closed-minded. They're not really interested in other foods, and they like their Italian food, and that's how they want it. And so they're a little stubborn in that way. So anyways, those are the reasons, those are the things that I thought were a little bit difficult in the beginning when I first moved here. So I just wanted to share that with you. They're totally easily overcome. You can start taking Italian lessons right away, and you just need a little Italian to get by. The food thing, I mean, I just miss Mexican food really a lot. And so, but I grow my own cilantro, and I make my own guacamole, and everything is fine. So yeah, so those are the things to consider before moving to Calabria. I can't wait to hear what you think. Please leave comments below, and I can't wait to see you soon. Have a great day, you guys. Ciao.